Welcome to Level 1 Walkthrough.
Welcome back. I'm Tony.
And I'm Emad.
And this is episode 9 of Level 1 Walkthrough. And man, I kept thinking about our last podcast, and wasn't that so much fun to have your brother there?
That was really fun, man.
Yeah.
We need to have him on again.
I know. If people don't know, we had Emad's brother, Ayad, from all the way from Japan. He was able to actually get in touch with us, and we finally got a way to be able to have him on the podcast, and it was so much fun. So we had part 1 that's already posted, and we're going to be doing part 2 hopefully sometime in the next week or so, 2 weeks, but we'll keep everyone posted. And you see, it's fun because right now we're kind of like we're pushing ourselves into like doing more social media stuff. So we have our actual Facebook account. So you might go ahead and tell them about that.
Oh yeah, man, I'm really excited about it. Like I was telling you earlier, we're invading social media. So we created an official Facebook website for Level 1 Walkthrough. So please check that out. And then we also created an official account on Twitter as well. So whenever we have new videos or episodes posted up, you guys will be the first to know. And you can put links on here, right? Like, so
Yeah.
we can. Okay, yeah. Perfect. But yeah, we're really excited about that. Please join or follow, like, subscribe, everything that you guys could think of. So that way you're notified right away whenever there's a new episode available.
Exactly. And once we actually start doing this, because come next year, a lot of our stuff is going to be tailor-made specifically for people to be able to like see what we're doing. We're going to be doing a lot more interactions where we do videos as well, which is kind of what this actual episode is going to be about. So it looks like the Xbox new console is kind of officially they put out an official trailer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I want to check it out with you, man. See what your thoughts are on it. See what our listeners' thoughts are on it. So I'm excited about it. Do you want to see if we can fire it up now, or do you want to say a few words before we get started?
No. Let's go ahead and do that, because at least this way we can actually start to see where Xbox and the new console, what they're kind of pushing for the next generation. So yeah,
right,
let's go ahead and pull up that video, and then we'll play it. You can go ahead and hit play, and then we'll watch it together.
All right, dude. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right, it's playing on my end.
Okay.
Can you guys see it?
Hopefully everybody will.
Yeah.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time.
I wonder if this is like actual gameplay.
And you would naturally, as you began on this adventure.
Oh wow! Look at those rocks in the water.
All your wishes. But now let's have a surprise.
I like surprises.
Let's have a dream which isn't under control.
Yeah.
And then you would get more and more adventurous. And you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream.
That's it. Here we go.
And finally, you would dream where you are.
Yep. All right,
like a cube.
You know what happened? It's like we've come full circle. It looks like a little desktop.
Yeah, Series X. All right.
Power your dreams, Tony. Power your dreams. Holiday 2020.
Okay. All right.
What do you think, man? Do you think they were trying to show like what they're capable of, like what gameplay might look like?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing too, is that it seems like they like kind of like when the PlayStation 3, when that first got announced, there was a game called Resistance, and
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you remember that, but they had a point when they showed actual when something would scatter in the actual game, like something explode. Like they
Hmm.
showed like the particles, and they kept talking about the specific amount of particles that can be rendered on one scene in an actual gameplay.
Hmm.
So it seems like they're kind of pushing a lot of the futuristic, or like not futuristic, but more photorealistic landscapes, which
Hmm.
we started seeing with Death Stranding. You saw a lot of like
Hmm.
photorealistic actual like landscapes where it had mountains, rocks, everything looked just very realistic. So it looks
It
like
looks
they're
nice,
kind of
man.
pushing that. Yeah.
I'm.
Let's see. Let me see if I can actually push it back, and let's see if we can play.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah. I'm just kind of interested in like the part in the very beginning replaying this because you can actually there's a part where
I'm
like the
gonna make it full
water like they
screen.
show, yeah, like right, let's see, right here, this little part here kind of interests me just because it looks like,
Like particle effects, like they
yeah,
want to show us what they can do with
it,
particles.
it looks like even at a small scale that the new console will be able to do quite a bit.
I like this part. Pause it there. Go back to the
Yeah,
water. All right. Let me see if I can.
yeah, it seems like a lot of the stuff can just be maybe procedurally generated. Like,
Hmm.
see how like the water itself just kind of evaporates really quickly.
Hmm. That
So
is
it seems,
cool. It's really nice. If their next console can do this, it's going to be really impressive. Like we're going to see some awesome things in the next games, hopefully. And
yeah, because I mean they get into like they show like three games. It looked like that was like Forza and uh,
Halo.
FIFA and then Halo.
Hmm.
So it seems interesting on what they're kind of doing because it looks like when you,
This is it. Oh yeah, that water with the rocks. That looks really nice.
yeah, look at the rocks and look how they changed when that little shockwave hits them. Like
Hmm.
right when you see that the rocks itself, see how on the right side they look like they're not rendered correctly, and then it looks like on the left you can see how like the rocks have more of a defined edges. They have more shadow,
Right now
and then,
on my side, it's showing the cactuses, the cactus trees or whatever.
oh, okay. Do you what? So when I'm switching back and forth, does it? Do you actually see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so let me. Do you see that
Yep. Now I'm in the mountains.
in the mountains?
What is it? Where's it at for you?
Uh, you know what? How about this? How about we? How about you go back and then you play it and you pause it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me. And then, is there a way to fast forward on full screen, or do I need to minimize it?
Uh, you know that
Let's
I don't.
see. I'll go ahead and minimize it for a second.
Okay.
Can you see the jumps that I'm doing here?
No, I can't. I can't do it. I can't see any of them.
Oh, hang on. Do you see that?
Mm-mm. When I jumped on my that other YouTube clip, were you it jumped with you, right?
Yeah, it jumped, but like when you were talking about the rocks, for example, I was seeing the trees or the cacti or
Oh,
whatever
okay,
those were. Like right now on my end,
right.
I have the rocks and the. Here, let me.
Yeah, because
Uh,
oh wait, there you go. I can see you're pulling it. Hold on.
oh, it started from the beginning. Bear with us, guys.
we're
New
still we're,
technology for us.
we're still trying to get this all figured out. So what we're doing is we're trying to tailor it so that we can be able to both be able to, since we're doing this remotely between the two of us, we found a way to be able to watch videos together. And right now we're just trying to figure out how to be able to actually pause the video and then go back while we're actually doing this. So we found a way to do it. It's just right now we're just not. It's not perfect yet. Okay, there you go.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I see the that
This is it.
raycast.
This is what I wanted to. Let me blow this up a little bit.
Okay,
Boom. This is cool. I like this. Let
okay.
me play it a little bit. Do you keep pausing it, or is that?
No, I'm not. I'm not pausing it at all.
Oh, when I play it, it pauses for some reason.
Maybe take it out of full screen.
Okay.
Maybe that's what's doing it.
Let me try that again. Nope. Okay, let me.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Did you see how the rocks turned into the water?
Yes.
Let me back. I like that.
See right there. See the rocks. If you go back, you can see how the rocks itself, right before that actual shockwave hits the rock on the very right, it looks like it actually like it renders that high definition or that real realistic.
Is that what you're talking about? Right there?
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be cool if they can change. There's Forza right there.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'm sure there's games in the past that have done this, but like changing the landscape instantaneously, that would
Oh
be really
man.
cool.
If you had your own, well, that's when you're built. Most default game engines will allow you to do that. So like you can create the terrain and you can dump a bunch of like procedurally generated like trees and you can throw them anywhere you want.
Hmm.
And then you can change the actual like you can change all that stuff. So like you can have the ground and then all of a sudden you can just create water that comes up from the bottom and it makes it look like it's kind of flooded a little. Or you can elevate all that water so it makes it look like an ocean and stuff like that. So
That's pretty cool.
you can actually do that stuff already, but it's all about it's like the building blocks, and you're building all that stuff on top of it to get to what you want. But look at the clouds in the background with the Forza.
That looks
Look
really
how
nice, like a sunset or
yeah,
sunrise.
look at you can see the actual like the depth of it where you see the first mountain and the first ridge, and then
Hmm.
you can see beyond that, and then it looks like the clouds have a little bit of that lighting itself it looks really good.
Yeah, it looks really nice, man.
Yeah,
Let us go on a little bit. There's FIFA,
it's FIFA.
Halo.
See now, Halo looks like it's gonna be, it's gonna look like real. Like, see,
Hmm.
that's the one thing that's really exciting about where the consoles are gonna be moving towards because it's a natural evolution that the games are gonna look so perfect
Hmm.
to real life that that's where it's gonna be kind of like a blend between what's real in the games and what's real in real life. Like, I can't wait till the games itself look so real that you can't distinguish the two. You know, like
Hmm.
when you like when I played Grand Theft Auto 5 for the first time and I played it for like hours on end.
Hmm.
When I got out of my when I got done playing, I had to like get myself away from it, and then I had to like leave the house. It was weird because when I was driving, I felt like I was still playing the game. Did you have that?
You know that happens to me. Like if I play like the same game for a long time, or for like many days in a row, then
Yeah,
do you dream about it?
I
Like,
do. I
like
do. Isn't
that's
that
what
weird?
happens to me sometimes. But no, I hear you. Like I like this. Like that's cool. We're finally moving on to like photorealism.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, do you think that the Xbox Series X will be able to do that? I'm thinking maybe the next console after that will
I
probably
don't
get closer to it.
I don't think so. I mean, I think this is where they're gonna start. Like
Hmm.
you're gonna start to see like all of these actual see like the see how that ridge see all that and the explosions down below
Yeah.
right below the character. You can actually see that they have a lot more depth, and you can see like the clouds in the background. You can see like the mist or
Hmm.
like the smoke or something like that.
Hmm.
It looks really dynamic. Like all the lighting. See how the sun's coming up from the top left, how
Hmm.
it's shining down. It really looks interesting, like the way that they're making it.
It
But I
looks really
think,
nice. Yeah.
yeah, I think everything, the environments are going to look perfect. Like they're going to be pitch perfect, and then the
Hmm.
characters are going to be the one thing. Those are going to be the ones where it's going to move into it being real.
Hmm.
Like say what you want about Death Stranding, but their animation, their motion caption that they got on their characters are spot on. I'd probably have to say
Yeah.
they're better than anything I've ever seen. And
Oh yeah.
even with that one game, was it Beyond? One with Ellen Page. Do
Hmm.
you remember that game made by Quantum Dreams?
Yeah. I never played it, but I know which game you're talking about.
Okay, that and like Detroit, like that was all cinematics, and that was all like the animation, motion caption. I think that Death Stranding is probably, from what I saw, they are doing some really incredible stuff. So
Hmm.
eventually it's going to kind of change and they're going to look real. Like it's going to look real, but it's not going to be this console's generation. I would say in the next 10 years or so, that's where it's going to get interesting, because right now it looks great. It's like, what can you do with this and then expand on it, because games are still kind of, it seems like they're in their adolescence, because the type of games that you can make are, they can be anything. They don't have to be traditional like characters that are fighting or playing soccer or anything like that. There's a
Hmm.
wide variety of games, like kind of like a virtual reality type of thing where it encompasses a lot of people, where you can do things like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
You know what? Speaking of nice looking games, I know you're super duper excited about The Last of Us 2 coming out,
Yeah,
but
just
before
just a
that,
little bit, just a little bit.
just a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
But before that comes out, you and I have been talking about looking at videos that you've captured
Uh-huh.
on the channel that we have already.
Yeah.
Did you want to go ahead and dive in and go ahead and get started with
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. So I'd like to
Yeah, let's do it,
well,
man.
let's go ahead and do that. With the actual, like, your first reaction with the new console. What do you think? What do you think about it?
You know, I like it because they're moving towards PC. Like it looks like a mini desktop, man. Uh,
Yeah.
and from what I've read, you know, based on other articles, like the let me see which article from Business Insider that I read, it looks
Hmm.
like they're going to use modern technology that's comparable to like modern PCs. I think
Okay.
before with like the current gen consoles, they were using older technology. So for me, this is
Okay.
exciting because that means that this is going to be really powerful. Like, you
Hmm.
know how they always say the most powerful console in the world. Well,
Right.
this time around, I really feel like it's going to compete with some, you know, with some high end PCs. Like PCs are always going to be a little bit stronger, like,
Hmm.
you know, especially at first. But
Yeah, because you can do
yeah,
so much. You can
yeah, you
you
can
can customize
customize.
you can
Hmm.
customize your actual PC to make it to whatever you want it to be. If you
Yeah.
wanted to if you wanted to just run basic stuff, if you want to
Hmm.
play high end games, like if you wanted to play Crisis when
Hmm.
that came out, good luck trying to get a PC that can do that. Even like
Hmm.
monster PCs that could be able to play the game had a little hiccup. So
Right. Oh,
yeah.
they also mentioned in the article that they're shooting for 120 frames per second
Okay.
at 4K. I'm excited at that, you know, at that aspect because as a PC gamer, like I'm all about the frames per second. So if this Xbox Series X can make it a minimum 100, 120 frames, I don't think it'll probably be a minimum, but I'm thinking some of their games, if they can reach 120 frames per second, the
Mhm.
games are going to look really nice. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for it. What about you, man? Are
Yeah.
you excited for the Xbox Series X? How do you feel
I
about it?
I'm always excited about new consoles, because with
Yeah.
new consoles it comes another type of, another cycle of people getting, pushing the limits of the actual console of what it can do.
Hmm.
Most of the time when the games come out, you have their official first party games that have been using the actual console for a while,
Yeah.
so they can actually be able to get familiar with it.
Hmm.
I'm always excited about new stuff. I like that just because it's going to push to another idea of what games could do, where they may have not had the ability to render what they want to do. And it
Hmm.
looks like this one, it seems like they're kind of playing on the idea that you can be able to, like, you can change things on the fly. Like there's going to be a lot of things where, like in you remember that the one that we discussed about with Anthem.
Hmm.
You remember that part when they did that reveal trailer and they had that section where the storm came and
Yes.
it looked like all the trees and stuff like that, where the wind was
Hmm.
picking up and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I think that the games itself, with maybe consoles, can be able to do something like that. It's very demanding on
Hmm.
the engine itself, but I think, well, the way that it seems like Xbox is kind of, the way they're positioning it, it seems like there's going to be a lot of dynamic things that are going to be happening, a lot of
Hmm.
unscripted, procedurally generated, type of things.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm excited as well. I'll just say, like, my final thoughts on this is I'm excited for both. You know, like I love both the Xbox and the PlayStation. I'm hoping though that that Microsoft really, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? I want them to match Sony software. Like Sony has been pumping out so many exclusive games that are awesome, right?
Yeah.
Like The Last of Us. Spider-Man,
Hmm.
God of War. It's just
Yeah.
like boom, boom. They're just like pumping out one thing after the other. Microsoft has, a lot of exclusives, but I don't know if they need more or if, they have Halo, they have their Gears,
Right.
but I've read somewhere that like they bought a lot of studios like this past year, so
Hmm.
I'm hoping that they're going to make new IPs for the next console. Like they need to get on par with
That'd be
PlayStation.
great. That'd be
Like you
great.
can have the hardware, you can have the better hardware, but if
Yeah.
if your games aren't good, people are not going to play them, and people aren't going to buy your system for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
it
I mean, it goes hand in hand with the console, and we don't even know what the price structure is going to be for this.
probably.
So
I'm thinking if I can guess, probably 500 to 600.
yeah, yeah, and then they might have another version of it that's going to be
The
like
stripped
how
down,
much?
the stripped
Yeah,
down version.
I mean, yeah, that's another thing. They'll probably have a standard one, and then they'll have like a high definition one because it seems like it's weird too because it seems like the consoles are following the trend of like how phones
Mm,
have like one version, they have a plus version, and then
yeah.
they have a bigger super version.
Hmm.
So it seems like the consoles have like two of them because they want to see what the actual consumer is going to pick. Obviously, they want to pick the best one, but it needs to be priced at a reasonable so you can be able to afford it. Um,
You
but
know,
they need to put in at least a terabyte or 2 terabytes of
mhm.
memory in these things. Like
Minimum, yeah.
I don't want to deal with 500 gigs anymore. Like
Right.
500 gigs is not enough. Like
No, we're done with
you
that.
can
We need to move on.
you can only put on the PlayStation. I can only put up like 8 games that automatically install the games into the hard
Hmm.
drive.
Hmm.
That's they do that on purpose so that it can be able to run the game a little bit more efficient.
Right.
But we need to have like a terabyte or two. Like get away from that 500 gigs. If
Mhm.
Xbox does 500 gigs on this, and then the games are demanding where they're like 70 gigs to be able to install into the console itself. Like no, they need to be pushing a terabyte or two, and then you can be able to put as much as you want on there. So then you don't have to worry about that
Hmm.
because it's annoying to kind of have to like micromanage the games that you have and
Right.
just uninstall them.
I agree with you, man. I'm thinking minimum 1 terabyte. But if they do two, that would be great. Also, another thing I'm worried about is, how you're talking about like when a phone releases, it'll have
Hmm.
different versions of it. Like
Hmm.
there's the high end, and then there's a middle one, and then there's a low end.
Yeah.
Like if they're gonna do that up front. Like I don't like how they release one console and then like 2 or 3 years later they'll have like the pro version of it, like the PS4, and then there's a
Yeah.
PS4 Pro. Like instead of doing that, just work on the next PlayStation. I know
Yeah.
that they're trying to extend the life of the original console,
Yeah.
but if they're gonna do that, have a low, medium, and high end version of
You mean right
if
off
it's
the
gonna be
bat?
Xbox or PlayStation. Yeah, do it right off the bat. Like
Okay.
because I don't think it's
Well,
fair. Like, what if someone buys the Xbox Series X and it's like, yeah, it's
right.
great, and then 2, 3 years later, Xbox Series X Part Two Alpha,
Yeah.
you know, then you have to
Prototype.
yeah,
Prototype one.
prototype. Then you have to decide, okay, well, do I want to upgrade? Like, I just recently got this.
Right.
I think the current life cycle of a console is like 4 or 5 years minimum, right,
Hmm.
on average. But
Well, they've been able to expand that. Typically you're right. It's about like 5 to 6 years,
mhm,
but with the current generation right now, it looks like they've been pushing for like 8 years. So
yeah,
they've shown a little bit more longevity with the console, and I get what you're saying about that, but you also know what you're getting. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you know the price structures, like what they're offering and what you're looking for. The
right,
problem is that when you have people that don't know that and they just buy the console and they're like, oh, another one comes out, they're like, I have to buy that one. You really don't need to. You need to
mm,
like just look and see what the bottom line is of what you want,
mhm,
and if they come up with a slimmer version, then that part I have no problem with. If they've kind of shrink the actual device, the console itself to make it a little bit smaller, that's fine. I have no problem with that.
I'm all about
With
the power. Like if
exactly, if you can generate more power, then I'll pay more. If
right,
you're pushing this thing to run 4K, 120 hertz, and you're showing me like real actual gameplay of like what they're pushing, because I don't even know. They didn't even put. I mean, they're strategic on this because they're not going to put out an actual gameplays yet. It's going to be
mhm,
kind of like cinematics that they're going to put in there first. You're not going to start seeing stuff until the game gets closer in its launch window that you'll start actually seeing more gameplay or
Mhm.
what they're even starting to do.
I'm,
So
I'm interested in seeing what. I don't think we've seen an official picture of the next PlayStation. Like we know
no,
what the Xbox Series X looks like. I'm interested to see what the next Sony
yeah.
PlayStation will look like. But
Well, if you look back,
mhm.
I mean, if I could pull this back real quick, I just
Yeah.
want to look at the console itself.
hmm
And can you see that on my end?
Um, nope, mine is on Power Your Dreams still.
Okay. Can you go back to where it shows the actual console
Yeah,
itself?
let me.
Because I'm kind of interested in maybe just a
Yeah, I'm
little
on
bit
there
more.
now.
Yeah.
It's on
So
1:32
okay.
seconds.
So the way that it looks like you can be able to. I mean, it looks pretty big, and is that going to really fit in your entertainment center? Like, can you put it down on its side, or is that the only way that it stands up? Because it looks pretty damn chunky.
It seems like it's going to be chunky either way. So it looks like a desktop now, but then if you were to lay it horizontally, it's going to take up space as well. Like it just looks like a monster, man.
It does actually look like just like a PC. That's really what it looks like.
I don't
I
mind
mean,
that. I mean,
yeah,
if it can deliver
yeah,
in its performance,
yeah.
for me personally, like I don't care how it looks. Like
Hmm.
I would rather get something that's bigger and more powerful than like a slim version, less powerful, slightly less
Hmm.
powerful, if
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Can you see the actual look at the actual controller? You see
mhm.
that extra middle button?
Oh, I didn't notice that until you just pointed that out now.
Yeah, that looks like a share button, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Or
kind
like a
of.
download button.
Yeah, download. That's what it looks like. It looks like a download button.
Hmm.
I wonder what that's for. The
I wonder if
D-pad
you
looks
can.
a little bit different too.
Yeah, it looks like the edge parts of the D-pad kind of come up a little bit more, so maybe it's a
Hmm
little bit more more comfortable. And it looks like if you look at the actual the left and right thumbstick, they look kind of pushed in a little. Like they don't
hmm
extend. It doesn't look like it extends out too high.
Right.
Like it's maybe smoother with your actual fingers, so you can wrap your hands around
I don't want to wrap my hands around it. It looks
it.
nice, dude. It looks very nice.
Dude, well, I mean, they've come a long way since like the original Xbox controller. You remember that
Oh my
hunk?
god.
Remember that beast?
Yep.
That thing was huge.
It was humongous with the clear white button and the clear
Yeah,
black button.
yeah.
Oh my god, that was many moons ago.
It was quite a bit ago. But you see the difference in like where they're changing everything, how they're making
hmm
they're emphasizing like the top part where the trigger buttons are and the top right buttons, right left and right bumpers, how they're kind of it seems a little bit more defined. Like
hmm
that's one thing about Xbox is that their controls were a little bit bigger and PlayStation was a little bit more like it seems a little bit more like you can hold it and it wasn't heavy. Like that was one thing about PlayStation. Their controllers, they never felt heavy to me, and Xbox
hmm
was just a little chunkier. Like
Yeah.
because you could put batteries into them. Like I had the version where you can charge the actual unit with
hmm
batteries, and then you had the other ones where you can just plug them in and then
hmm
just let it go.
Right.
So,
No, I'm
but yeah,
excited, man. This looks good. Do
yeah,
you
it
want to
looks
you want to see
interesting.
if we can get anything from the Last of Us? See if we can check out the intro, or do you
Yeah,
want to? Okay,
yeah. Let's go ahead and try that. So with the final thoughts, what's your price structure? What do you think for this?
for the Xbox Series X.
Let's put out the speculation wheel. What
Okay,
what what do you think? What do you think it's
Spe-
going to start at?
okay. If they do like a low end, high end, I'm thinking the low end console is going to be around 400,
Okay,
and the higher end, I'd say 500 or 550. That's
okay,
the price range I'm thinking. What about
okay.
you?
I think it's going to start at 500. I
Oh wow,
think
the low end. Do you think it'll be
I think
500?
that I think the low end's going to be 500 because
Wow.
if they're going to be pushing 4K
hmm
and 120 with it, and that's what they're going to emphasize. I think their structure could be 500, and then they can have another version that's maybe $600. So
hmm
I think that's where it's going to start.
Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense.
what I would love is for them to add another controller. I wish they would do that. I wish they would just give you two controllers and
hmm
not force you to buy another one because everybody's gonna need another controller.
That would be a game changer, man.
That'd
It's
be. I mean, it's a small little thing, but
yeah.
it's just like, hey, why don't we just give you another controller? Because you're going to use it, and you know they're going to have it. And if you want to buy, like, you're kind of giving a small little investment, like, hey, we know you're going to be playing with other people. So it's like, it doesn't have to be just you. But
yeah, I don't think
I
it'll
doubt
break
that.
their bank if they did that.
I think, well, come on, man. Those things don't cost the fraction of what they're doing. But yeah, it's I think it's gonna be structured around 500, and then another version will be maybe 600. I think
Yeah,
that they're gonna do two versions of them because
maybe I priced it too low.
no,
I'm
I
too
think
hopeful.
because you're looking at it more like reasonable, but the way that they're actually the way the console looks, that console looks like it's gonna be a pushing like an actual like a good modern PC right now. So I would say their price structure would be $500,
Yeah,
and then it goes up from there.
yeah,
Because
I think you're right. Well,
$499 doesn't sound bad, because they're gonna market it that way. And does it come in different colors?
I don't think so. Maybe at first, we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, $499. I think you're probably right. $499 sounds a lot better than 500 for some reason.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
everyone's in tune to like say $500. I don't want to do that, but
Yeah.
when it's $499, you're like, you might think about
maybe
it.
I can afford it now.
Which is weird. Which is totally weird.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool. So did they didn't announce any actual? Did they announce any kind of like games that they're pushing for this, or is it simply just the console announcement trailer?
No, there's another trailer. There's a game called Hellblade. Have you ever played that?
Yeah, that was for the yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah, so there's a trailer, Hellblade 2 trailer, and that's for the Xbox Series X.
Okay.
So I don't know if I told you, but I watched this trailer the other day. Like my buddy David told me about it, but he didn't give me a heads up that it's a little creepy.
Is it?
I was watching it, and like it creeped me out so bad, I had to look over my shoulder just to make
Really?
sure there wasn't. Yeah, it creeped me out, dude.
Well, now you got me interested. You wanna pop it up?
You want to watch it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
pop it up.
Yeah, it's good to have somebody with you. I mean, I love horror movies and stuff, but like this one, it creeped me out.
It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you need to. If you do watch scary movies, it seems like you need to have all the lights on.
Oh yeah, at least one light on is for good measure.
For safety reasons.
Yeah, for safety reasons. Yeah, if you want to check it out real quick, let me see if I can pull it up.
Okay. Okay. It's by Ninja Theory. Okay.
Yeah, by Ninja Theory. Let me make it full screen, and then I want to capture this as well.
Okay. We'll run through it, and then you can minimize it, and then we can go back.
Boom. So that's full screen. Do you see when I do full screen on my end? Does it show full screen on your end as well?
No, it keeps mine. It keeps my minimum.
Okay, I'm going to capture this. Are you ready for this, man?
Yeah.
Do you have a light on or something?
Oh, I'm cool.
You're good. Okay.
It's daytime.
Oh yeah, it's daytime. Yeah, that's right.
It's daytime for you too, so you should be fine.
Oh yeah, I'm good. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Mine's not playing.
Oh, it like for what it plays and it stops.
I think it's because you put it in full screen.
Okay, I'm trying to capture it in full screen. I guess we'll.
That's okay. I mean, just keep it that way, and then we can edit it the way we need to.
Okay, is it playing for you now?
Yeah.
All right.
See, there's that dynamic environment again.
Mm-hmm. Dynamic water.
Yeah, they seem to be really pushing that.
Oh, and there's the.
See, there's the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you, man, it looks great.
Yeah. Look at the terrain. Like that just looks so nice, and the distance, the draw distance.
Yeah. That's cool that this game got a sequel.
Yeah, I gotta play the first one. Look at that. Arms taking it.
Is that actual, like, is that live action, or is that, oh no, that's in the game.
I'm hoping it's in-game. This creeped me out, yeah. Just like her facial expressions and the music and the tone.
But is that a real actress, or is that is that in-game?
That's in-game model, dude.
No way.
Yeah, I think so.
Dude. When she opened her mouth, it looked like one of her teeth was rotten. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, dude. I'm hoping that this is in-game footage. Look at that.
That looks crazy, man. I don't know, man. I'm always skeptic with stuff like this.
I know you are.
It looks great. But you know what's cool too, because that's okay. The first one was more of it was like a downloadable a game that was like, I think it was like $30.
Mm-hmm.
They did some cool stuff, man. If you ever play that game, there's a part where the character interacts with the camera. The camera itself is kind of like a ghost. Like you play as like kind of like a ghost that's following her. So she'll look directly at the camera when you're looking at her, and she'll grab the actual, like, it looks like she's grabbing you and pulling you towards her, and she's like talking to you. Like you're kind of like a ghost following her.
Oh wow!
It's just being the camera following the character.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, they did some interesting stuff. The combat was all one-on-one,
Mm-hmm.
and you actually had to you had to be able to like a lot of fencing, a lot of blocking. So you had to be a little bit more strategic with your game. But the stuff that they did, the type of stuff that was in the actual game itself, it really was interesting. They did some really cool stuff.
What do you think about this? So since you've seen it or you've played the first one, what do you think about the trailer for the second one?
I think it looks good. I mean, I have my own reserves on stuff like this because it all looks great.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more interested in this. If I see, that's the thing. I can't tell if that's real or not. Because look at the way when you have it paused. Look at her vein up on the top on her forehead. Look at that.
Oh wow!
Have you ever seen that? I've
No,
never
that looks
seen
really
that before.
nice. Yeah, I've never seen that before. That looks good.
So this might actually be a character or an actual in-game character model. Like this looks like a cinematic part where they've actually motion captured that. But that's pretty damn interesting, man.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, can you play that part just real quick? And
dude.
Because I noticed when she opens her mouth. Oh no, go back where she's like doing that little chanting, whatever that was.
The creepy chanting.
Yeah, the creepy chanting. It's okay. So it's right. Go ahead and play that right now. And then when she opens her mouth up real wide, like she screams or something like that, and her mouth opens, and you can see one of her teeth on the left side looks rotten. Right there. So you can see like a little bit on the very bottom, or maybe that's a shadow. But look on the very top, dude. That looks like parts of it are like rotten. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, can we zoom in on the rotten tooth?
Well, I mean, look at the actual mouth itself. Everything looks. It looks like it's just real. It looks like that's a real actor doing that. I wonder if they blended that in. That might be a little. They might be kind of misleading us. I think that actually is an actual person, and then they put the actual in-game character models. Because if you go back, the ones that are holding those little pitchforks, those guys like that, you could tell those ones are character models.
Yeah,
I think that's an actual actress. I think that's a real person. I don't think that's motion capture. Go ahead and hit play. Because it moves too much. See, those characters you can tell.
Yeah,
those ones you can tell. Yeah. Yeah.
So you think that's an actress? Like that's not in-game footage, or do you think it's cinematic?
No, I think that's an actress. Maybe that part is cinematic. Maybe that part.
I think that's a real monster, real rock monster.
That's a real rock monster?
Yeah, I think that's real.
Yeah.
Would it blow your mind though? Like what if we found out that it's not an actress? Like that's a real in-game model.
Well, that would be interesting. I mean, because with all that detail, are you really going to be able to show all of that? You know, like most of the time, you can't actually see all the work that these animators do for these characters because you're playing the game. You can only see it when they do like cinematics where they emphasize that part when they show the actual face. So, I think if they did stuff like that, I think it would be interesting.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
It didn't give a release date, did it? I imagine it's like sometime.
No okay. Release date. Not on this trailer, at least.
Okay. Yeah, that's it seems interesting. Stuff like that. It seems like once again they're doing that actual. You'll see a lot of games that have that photorealistic like environments. So it looks like you're going to be seeing a lot of that. Like that's going to be the norm.
It's going to be nice, dude. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's cool. So what do you think? What's your initial reaction other than you getting scared? And
Other
having
than me
nightmares?
getting scared and looking over my shoulder to make sure that no one's going to charge or rush me,
Right.
I think it looks really nice, and it looks like they incorporate a few things from the reveal trailer, from the Xbox Series X reveal trailer.
Yeah.
Like we saw the terrain, and dynamic. Was there dynamic weather in this trailer? In this trailer that we just saw?
I mean, it looked like they were kind of doing that in the very beginning.
Yeah, the water. That's what I was thinking about. Dynamic water and the terrain. I think they're
like that, like the very beginning part where it's just kind of moving, panning through, and you see that
Mhm.
volcano that looks like it's like about to erupt.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of this stuff, and if you can put the character in these worlds, dude, you can make like these like planets look completely alien, and you're
mhm.
exploring stuff like this. Like you can make them look crazy good.
Can
if
you
you can do
imagine a
this.
new Mass Effect with this level of graphical detail?
Oh man,
That would be
oh,
fun.
that would be perfect. If they can, okay, so if they can be able to do like where they can render the planet to whatever they want, and you can if you can really travel from one planet to another in Mass Effect
Mhm.
and have that kind of thing like what No Man's Sky promised, and have something like that where
Yeah.
automatically you can fly from space into the actual planet with no cutscenes, and it can look like this. Yeah,
You,
that'd be really interesting.
you know what they'd have to add though?
Hmm.
Co-op.
Co-op,
You know that's
co-op.
coming, man.
Yeah,
They have
yeah,
to. I mean, they have all this
co-op and everything.
graphical power. You have to include a buddy in there. I want to play this with a friend,
We need to get like a T-shirt. We need to get like we need to make like a T-shirt that says like co-op always,
Don't worry, man.
Co-op and everything.
I'm thinking about that, man. Hopefully when we start releasing our gear
Or you know
to
what,
our
everything. Or you know what? How about this? This is a perfect idea. What if everything that once we actually like have like T-shirts and stuff, we have something else that's a companion with it. So if you get a T-shirt, you get a sticker. That's something that's like a companion. So it's always co-op with
That's a good
everything
idea.
you
I like
get.
that.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, man. Good idea. I like that.
Well, this game's not going to have co-op. I can tell you that.
Yeah, you're
It's
probably right.
this is all single player.
Mhm.
But it does look interesting. I think these characters here, the ones that are popping up that are holding the pitchforks, I think those obviously are in-game characters.
Mhm.
This, however, the character itself got me interested because I can't tell if that's a real person or not, and I think it might be. This part where she's
Mhm.
actually chanting, I think that is an actual actress. And then when she stops and she's breathing,
Mhm.
panting at the very end, I think that's an in-game model. I
Yeah.
think,
I'm not sure,
but
man.
that's the speculation wheel that
Speculation.
we're doing. So we're speculating. Yeah, because I mean, look at that, dude.
I think it's
Look at the way she does that, and look at her left eye when she
Mhm.
does that. Watch. See,
Yeah.
see how like it
It's
opened.
squinted a little.
Yeah, she squints a little. Yeah, I've never seen that before. It's moving so fast. Yeah, it's moving too fast.
Mhm. It's creeping me out, man.
I just want to keep it on that because it gives you nightmares.
I'm definitely gonna have nightmares. Probably not.
Oh my god, such a baby.
Now, you know what's funny? Like, I can watch the scariest movie, but I normally don't like think about it after that. Like, I'll go to bed and I'll be fine.
Hmm.
But I can't watch horror movies with my wife because she will remember like details and stuff.
It should remind you.
Yeah, and I'm like, I like totally forgot about it, or I don't even think twice about it. But yeah, so when I watch horror movies, I have to watch them by myself with
Yeah,
at least one light on.
yeah.
Then I'm okay.
Then you're okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the Xbox and PlayStation going to be revealing their stuff, what exactly would you want to see these kind of consoles do? Like, what is there anything in particular that you would want to start seeing in games other than co-op?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Other than co-op, you know what I wish that they bring back?
Hmm.
They need to do more split screen. Like if they release like the next Halo,
Hmm.
they need to have more couch co-op because I think they like there's a lot of games that stopped doing that. Like didn't Halo 5 release and it didn't have like split screen or couch co-op?
I believe so.
That's
I'm not exactly sure, but once again, we don't have a lot of facts because we're not professionals.
Mhm.
So, and we're not prepared all the time.
I'm a co-op professional.
So then you should know
You
that.
asked me other than co-op, and I started talking about co-op.
There is a, speaking of that, did
Yeah.
you ever play a game that came out about a year ago? It's two guys that are, I think they're brothers. They're in jail and it's all co-op.
No, I want to play that. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
It's
Wasn't it
like
called like
life,
Prison Escape or something?
yeah, like life in prison or yeah, I think it's Prison Escape. But it's all about your characters working together in order to be able to break out of the prison that they're in.
That looks
So
fun, man.
so you have to go through the process. Like there was a scene that I remember where one of the guys, one of the characters, the player is holding a laundry basket, and then you jump in the laundry basket, and then they throw blankets on you, and the character actually has to grab the blankets individually
Mhm.
and throw them on top of you, and
Oh,
then
that's cool.
the game that's the character that's in the basket, he can actually pull himself, kind of like he can look through a little part of the towels, so he can look through and he can see what's going on while he's getting pushed.
That's
Yeah,
awesome, man.
yeah. They do that with like if you need to get to a certain ledge, like the character will do that little kind of like he'll position himself. One character will put himself so you can put his leg on his hands, and then he
Mhm.
lifts him up. So they have a lot of stuff like that. And like one other one that's gonna blow your mind, and just incorporating all this co-op is like one of them you'll be picking a lock, and your other character will be over there in the corner, on the other side, making sure that the police, like one of the guards, doesn't come by. So if the guard comes by, he
Mhm.
tells you, like, you have to be like, oh, stop real quick, and
That's
then you have to
cool. Like a
stop doing it.
lookout.
Yeah, yeah,
That sounds like so much
yeah.
fun. I got to look
Mhm.
into that game.
I think it's Escape from Prison, but it's all co-op, and they do it. They don't do it split screen or anything like that. So when you're doing something, the other player can see it. So you're both like playing in the same screen at the same time. I think
Hmm.
so. I think it might split up, but I didn't play the game, but I remember seeing it.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, I get co-op is my main focus, but what about you? Like what are you hoping that they'll be able to incorporate in the next generation consoles that we haven't seen, current gen?
Uh, I mean, all the games are gonna look so great now.
Hmm.
There's really no end to what you can be able to do. I wish that the games would expand beyond it just being very like shooter based, where you're doing the same type of stuff. Like I want to actually really feel like I want to be thrown into a world that I have no idea what's going on, and I want to explore. If you can give me freedom to do anything I want,
Hmm.
and like I'm a person, like a lone person on a desert planet, and I need to survive, and that's all you do.
Hmm.
That's intriguing to me because there's a mystery to it. There's like a survival part of it. So I think
Hmm.
if you can push all these things to make everything look great, I want a stripped down version of a story, but I want something that's grounded for my character, that's journeying through whatever's happening while I'm doing it along with them. I want a mystery. Like I don't want everything to be all flash, all explained to me. I
Hmm.
want something simple in this huge world that they can be able to create. And the way that it looks,
Hmm.
you can make everything.
This reminds me of when we were talking about Death Stranding, and
Yeah,
you're like, what if they made it this way, where you
exactly.
crash landed on an alien island, on an alien
Exactly.
planet? Like that's what you're describing. Like that sounds like
Exactly.
the game that you
Well,
really want to play.
because that's really what I saw, man. Like
Mhm.
there was scenes, like I told you, like when you're lugging some of that cargo around, when you don't have it piled up on you where it looks kind of weird, when it's kind of like at your shoulder base and you only have like maybe two or three things, you actually look like an astronaut. Like
Mm.
the suit looks like that, and it would be cool because if you were on a planet and it looked like that, where you can see the landscape, it looked like you were just out in the mountains, but then
Mhm.
all of a sudden you saw like you can change up like the landscape, you can make it like different colors, you can have like alien, like animals or anything that are interacting with you that are alien completely. So you can do stuff like that, and it lended itself to that because it's just like there was a lot of mystery.
So,
That's what I wanted.
so what you're describing from what it sounds like is you want like
Mhm.
a next gen survival game with like next gen
Yeah,
like survival mechanics, I guess I
yeah,
should say.
yeah. I like stuff like that, man. I like when you have to think on your feet. I think when you have to decide, am I going to use my weapon for defense, or am I going to use it as a way, as a tool for myself, as a blunt object? Like, I
Hmm.
want to have those choices. So it's like,
Hmm.
am I surviving to get away from other people? Am I stranded on an actual planet by myself? How do I survive and stuff like that?
That would be fun, man. I hope they make a game
I
like
like
that.
stuff like that. It's a very stripped down, simple type of game. It's a hard one to be able to market,
Hmm.
but that's kind of what I like. I like, if you can give me all the stuff that you can do,
Yeah.
but then throw me into a world where I have no idea what's going on, and then I have to find my way to survive. That's what I like. And it doesn't have to be a zombie survival or anything like that. It can
Hmm.
just be simply, you crash, like exactly like that. You crash land on a planet,
Hmm.
and you don't know what's going on. Figure it out.
Right. So it's like a mystery and survival because you have to
Exactly.
survive.
Exactly.
And on top of
Exactly.
that, you have an oxygen tank, but your oxygen tank is depleting. So you have to figure out how to tape the capsule or something. Oh,
Or
I'd
you
make
know
it
what?
so hard for you, dude. Like if I
Or
was.
you know what? You know what? What I'm explaining is exactly the game that I didn't play the most recent version of it.
Mhm.
But did you play Metro uh, 2033?
No, I haven't
Metro
played any of the metros. I still need to do that.
or Dying Light? Did you ever play that one?
No, I saw Dying Light on sale, and I'm like, I was so tempted to pick it up. Like that looks like a
Okay.
really fun zombie game.
Well, okay, not was it not Dying Light? I'm sorry. The Metro, the most recent version of the video game that came out. Did you remember that one?
Can we pull up the
It was
trailer?
Exodus. It
Maybe
was
we can look at.
Exodus. Exodus.
Oh no, I have not.
Okay, so that game, what I didn't get a chance to actually play that game, but the Metro series itself is
Hmm.
really interesting because it's like a post-apocalyptic world, or it's
Hmm.
Last Light. That's what it's called. The one that came out in 2013 is called Last Light,
Hmm.
and then the new one that just came out is called Exodus.
Okay.
So you're everyone's down underground, living in the like subway tunnels because there's nuclear fallout that's on the surface, and
Hmm.
there's like these mutants that are like ravaging the top. Like, the animals have been able to take over the entire world. But
Or,
what's awesome about this game
mhm.
is it's in first person. You have bullet count, you have a mask, you have air that you have to supply.
Mhm.
So if the animals hit you on your mask, it can actually have damage, and you can actually you have to take the mask off and get
Wow.
another one. You have to survive in the environments of like people that have died, and like grab their resources and grab their masks or grab their oxygen tanks that
Mhm.
they have. You pull them off and you put them on yours so you can have more air.
That sounds
So
really
that
interesting, man. Like
the game,
I gotta check it
the
out.
last light is they give you a lot of like, you have a lot of things that you have to micromanage. Like, not only do you have a certain amount of bullets, you have a little portable generator that you have to actually you have to generate yourself
Hmm.
on the fly, because your light will actually start flickering if it goes out, and like if it doesn't have enough power, you have to pull your generator and actually
Wow.
do it. Your guns can actually jam, so the bullets can jam, and then you have that, and then you also have a wristwatch on your left side
Hmm.
that tells you where you're going. You have a map that you pull up, and you have a little lighter that pops up too, so you have a little bit of light to see with your map. So they give you all these little things on top of these creatures attacking you. So you have a lot of things you have to micromanage, but you have to be very smart on what you're doing. And the Exodus was kind of an expansion of that, where you're on the surface a little bit more,
Hmm.
but they even have a little motion where, if you, let's say, like something gets in your face and like maybe mud or something like that,
Yeah.
there's a button that you press, and your character grabs his hand and wipes it off the actual mask.
That sounds really detailed.
There's a little animation for that, and if you don't do it, you can't see. You actually have to do that. Kind of like you create like a little, your hand is like a windshield wiper, kind of. Yeah,
Is the next
yeah.
one that's going to be released? Is it going to be for current gen or for next gen?
Well, no, the X6 came out this
Oh,
year.
it came out already. Okay.
Yeah, it came out this year. I unfortunately wasn't able to get a hold of it. But I mentioned that because that's the actual game that I love playing. Those type of games that I love playing,
Hmm.
because you have to be very smart and strategical of what you're doing. Even though you're in that game, your majority of it is you sneak into people, you sneak in like hideouts and take them out. but your bullets are your resource. Those are your currency. So the more ammo you waste, the less money you have. So you have to be very aware of what you're using, because you use bullets as a way to be
Yeah.
able to upgrade yourself.
That's how I felt when I played Resident Evil 2 Remake. Like,
Yeah,
you really had to be careful with your items, like, your bullets and your health, because if you wasted your bullets and there's like a crowd of zombies, you have to figure out how to get around it, or you have to be better at saving your bullets,
right,
or you have to
right.
make sure that you're not getting hit too much because they only give you so much in health. So, as you were telling me about that, I was thinking
Yeah,
about Resident Evil 2. And those games are fun where it's like you have to not only worry about the enemies, but you have to also take care of yourself, and you have a limited amount of resources to do it. So what
exactly.
you're describing sounds really fun. Like, I need to check out those games because
Yeah,
yeah.
if you go back and actually play the first Metro 2033,
Hmm.
the game has a little bit of problems, but what's cool about it is that they remade that one and did the Dying Light along with it. So if you bought the actual game, you can get two games in one, where they went back and actually changed some of the stuff in the first game and polished it up a little and redefined some of the mechanics that they fixed
Hmm.
in the second game, and then they implemented it in the first game. So if you get that, I think it's called Redux, Metro Redux, where
Okay, so
it's
2030. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, the first one is
Uh huh.
2033, and then Metro Last Light is the second one, and then Exodus is the third. But in
Okay.
between Last Light and Exodus is a game called Metro Redux, and I think that one is the first game and the second game, where you can buy both of them at the same time.
Okay, cool. I'll have to check it out, man. Like everything that you're describing sounds fun.
Yeah, it's
I
it's
gotta check it
it's
out.
got it's got a lot of world building too, and it's what's awesome too is that you go down into the subway system and you interact with people,
Mhm.
and there's parts where you do missions, of course, but you actually learn about them just surviving. They even have there's one section where they have a whole society in these tunnels, so in these subway tunnels, so they have like there's theater, there's a bar, there's places that people go to kind of like keep whatever humanity they have left.
Mhm.
And there's a scene where you're playing in the game in Last Light that you sit down and you're watching an actual play. You're watching people perform on stage, and that's part of the actual game. You can get
Wow,
up whenever you want, but you can watch it and participate in something like that.
that's very
You don't
cool.
participate. You don't participate, but you actually
Mhm.
just watch it. And you can get up and leave if you want to.
Does it have any RPG elements? Because for me, that would be like the icing on the cake.
The closest thing that they have for that would be your customization of your weapons,
Hmm.
where you can be able to you can change, you can get a scope, you can have more ammo, but that's all based on how much ammo you have as your currency. So you have to decide: do you want to get this weapon, or do you want to save your ammunition for something else, or do you want to just use something very minimum, because you're going to keep yourself safe all the time.
Okay.
So not really for like stats for your character, but he does. If you run, you hear the character actually panting.
Hmm.
He doesn't have like stamina or anything like that, but he will slow down. But they have small amount of RPG elements in it, but not to the extent where like you're changing attributes in the character where you make them bigger or like they're stronger. You can
Hmm.
throw upgrades into them. No, it's mainly into the actual guns itself that you can customize, because your weapons are your main source to defend against these huge monsters, or these they're basically like mutant, like they could be like dogs that are like mutated, and they're like they just weird because of all that radiation. They changed them because people haven't been on the surface for like x amount of years. I think like 10 some odd years after this big nuclear fallout, so you couldn't even get on the surface, so everyone's underground.
Well, if it doesn't have any RPG elements, then I'm not gonna play it. Garbage.
So
You just described
even
a garbage
even
game.
even
I'm just-
after everything I just told you.
No, I mean, honestly, it sounds really interesting, and
Mhm.
it sounds like the developers put a lot of work into it. Like, if you're
Yeah.
talking about just the, hearing panting after you guys running, and all
Mhm.
the little intricate details and stuff where
Yeah.
you get the mud on your visor or whatever, and
Yeah.
there's a button to clean it. Like,
Yeah.
like that sounds really cool. I definitely want to check it out.
Yeah, if you want, if you want to check out like the first scene, or the first couple episodes, I posted the Metro Last Light on the YouTube channel. So if anyone that's listening, and if you haven't played the game of what I'm talking about, just go to youtube.com slash level one tester. And that one is where the gameplay on that one is on there. So if you want to actually check it out, you can see like the first. I don't think I completed the actual game, but I got in at least quite a bit of actual clips onto it that I posted, so you can
Okay.
get a good feel for what the game is trying to tell. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's
I'll check
it's,
it out.
it's cool.
Speaking of our YouTube channel, we're also going to
Yes,
create an official Level One walkthrough YouTube channel as well, right? Like, hopefully
yes.
that's in the works.
Yes. So what I was kind of mentioning before about what we were going to be making changes for coming next year is we're going to be slowly grabbing the people that we have on our YouTube channel. Which thank you very much for anyone that's been listening to us, and also
Hmm.
that have been watching the YouTube channel of videos that I've been posting up for years. I love doing that stuff, and I've put it out there for free. I didn't make a point to try to get anything out of it because I wanted to put those games on there because there might be someone that may not want to buy the game and they're not sure. I wanted to give them a little bit of a resource for them to use.
Hmm.
So what we're gonna do is that YouTube channel is not going to change. That one's still going to be there. We'll still upload gameplay into that. But what we're going to be doing is creating another channel associated with it, where that's going to be where all the sources of our podcast is going to be on there. So once everything gets squared away, everyone will see that from the greeting actual video. So any new subscribers or existing subscribers that we have on the existing YouTube channel,
Hmm.
you'll see the actual link to everything we're doing. So we're going to keep everybody posted on everything we're going to be doing. So it's going to be a lot of exciting things,
Hmm.
and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to
Yep.
have more people on. We're just going to have a lot more to be able to do, and especially now that a new cycle of games are going to be coming out, a new console, it's going to be exciting. So
Hmm.
we get our hands on stuff like that. That's going to be really good. But it's going to involve everybody. So we've created a lot of social media aspects or avenues for ourselves.
Hmm.
So now we can be able to we're branching out so people can be able to get notice of us and we can be able to grow our community from the ground up.
Yeah, you guys. So whoever's listening to us, join our social media, our Facebook and our Twitter. Tony, make sure to put the links below
I will.
so that it can take them straight there. But
Mhm.
yeah. Again, thank you for listening to us and supporting us. And we do have fun creating these podcasts, and we look forward to the new year and throughout the next year, just hopefully building this and having
Yeah.
it grow, and talking about the new games coming out and the next gen consoles. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. Like,
Yeah.
that's what
It's
this is all about. So thank you again for
exactly.
listening to us.
Exactly. Yeah. We're trying to make this into something that we can be able to potentially be able to do a little bit more often than we would want.
Hmm.
So we're slowly getting that so we can be able to get everyone to, be a part of it if you want to. So any kind of feedback is we encourage that.
Hmm.
So but yeah, that's gonna be fun, man. That's gonna be fun. Come next year, we're gonna have quite a bit of stuff. That's great. A lot of things in the works.
Yep. Yeah. Hopefully, more content, on all of
Exactly.
our platforms. So I'm looking forward to that as well. You
Exactly.
know what? We were supposed to do um, review a little bit of The Last of Us or talk about it, but I don't
Yeah,
think we're gonna have time on this episode, man. We might have to make it for the next episode.
that's fine. That's fine. What we can do is, now that we know how to be able to do this, we can be able to we can be able to do it a little bit faster.
Hmm.
Um, but this I think it's mainly just because we started talking about the actual the consoles itself and like what they're going to be doing.
Right.
And yeah, I think with any kind of new console, there always another, like, it seems like there might be something a different change. So I think that's what we kind of got excited about, seeing these kind of trailers and what the promise of what they're doing.
Hmm.
Because right now we don't know what it is that they're going to be showcasing. We can get kind of an idea, but we don't know. So we kind of have that speculation wheel that just starts spinning.
Yeah, for sure. And like Tony said, if there's anything that you guys would love for us to talk about, or for us to review, or a trailer, or anything to look at and talk about, please let us know.
Hmm.
We're always going to appreciate your feedback.
Absolutely.
So, what
Okay.
else can we squeeze into this into this episode?
Um, honestly, man, I just think that I think the what the consoles are going to be for the future of what games are going to be. Um, I think it's always going to be very exciting. I just think it's a matter of like we need to tailor our expectations appropriately, because it can be very grand of what they are promising, but until you actually see what they're doing, because a lot of times it takes about a couple of years after the console has been out for the public to get until they start actually pulling the games out that they want, like actually utilize the actual system. Like the PlayStation 4, when that came out, you didn't get a lot of games that can be able to push what that console can do until a couple years later, until you got to see what it could do. Like Uncharted 4, when that came out, you can see the power of that console and what it was doing. So, it's going to take a little bit, but I think a new Halo game, of course, is always welcomed. I've played the Halo games before. I didn't get into it as much, but I liked playing them. They're always fun. It's the ones that started out that whole first person shooter, what's become the norm now. So, but FIFA, Forza, I don't.
FIFA's fun. Like Forza's okay, but I love playing FIFA. Like I still have FIFA 15, and I play that occasionally on the PS4. And one of my boys likes to play that game. I don't like too many sports games, but like FIFA has always been fun. I don't know what it is about it, but playing soccer in real life, for me, not so much.
Not so
too
much.
much running around. but playing it with a controller, it's very fun.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what they can do, like with the next generation or the next console for FIFA. That is going to be exciting.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be fun. I think if anyone has any kind of thoughts of like maybe price structure or like what kind of storage they think they should be able to do,
let us know.
Let us know. I think if we start actually kind of thinking of stuff like that, especially that console where that had the Xbox console had that little download button. I wonder if you can be able to do that on the fly, kind of like that share button that they have too. So I wonder why they have that specifically. Like, are you able to download like clips very quickly? Like, I'm kind of interested in why they dedicated that button there, or maybe that's the new shared button.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys think. What is that middle button that looks like a download button? Let us know your thoughts on that.
Yeah. Let's start that speculation time. It's all about that.
Yep, we have a whole year, to speculate.
Exactly. And now that the Last of Us Part 2 got delayed you said it got delayed 2 months, right?
I think wasn't it supposed to come out in April, or it got delayed to May? I forgot what the original date was, but it got pushed back to May.
Okay.
I know you were devastated to hear that, so I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
But that's okay.
You're gonna be okay.
I'll be just fine, because if I can wait almost 10 years for one game that missed an entire console cycle, I can be fine with that. I know The Last of Us is going to be one of those games that you're just going to it got so many awards, there's so many accolations that it got. It's just like I can wait for that.
Has it been 10 years since the original Last of Us game?
No. The 10 years is what I'm referring towards is The Last Guardian, the game that you have no interest in.
Oh yeah,
that game missed it was supposed to come out in the PlayStation 3 era, and it missed an entire console cycle.
Wow,
an entire PlayStation 3 cycle until it came out on the PlayStation 4. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. So if I can wait almost 10 years for a game, I got no problem with.
You can wait a few more months.
Exactly.
Man,
patience is golden.
Maybe next time we should look at the Last of Us Part 2 trailer, because I don't think I've seen the newest one.
Yeah, we can be able to do like a breakdown trailer for something like that. That'd be fun.
Like especially the one. I think there's one trailer where it broke down some of the gameplay. Like what was her name? Ellie.
Yeah.
Like she's like jumping over the cars and like fighting guys and stuff. It looked really dynamic. Like.
Why don't we just do that? Why don't we just do that?
You got excited.
Why don't we just do that now?
You want to end on that?
Now. Yes, let's end on that at least.
Okay.
Because we've been talking about what we want to do with the Last of Us, the first game, because we wanted to actually do like a running kind of commentary with that actual game, where we're going to pick specific parts of the game that we remember and what we love about that game. We're going to break that stuff down. So this is going to be the first test of this, because I'm super excited for this game. Like that's one of the games that I'm my focus is all on that. So yeah, let's pull that up, man. Let's do that together.
I want to see if I can find one that just has the gameplay. Is
Okay.
that cool with you, or did you want to?
Yeah.
Is there another one you wanted to look at?
We'll see whatever one that Sony put out for their actual their official trailer that shows a little bit of gameplay. That'll be fine.
Okay, let's see if we can find.
And while you do that, I'll just keep talking about the Last of Us and why I love it so much.
I think you can do a whole episode on that. But
I would love to, man. I would love to. If you give me free reins to do stuff like this, absolutely. I can keep talking, but for as long as we need. You have to interrupt me.
I do. Oh wow! So the Last of Us reveal trailer that came out in 2016.
Yes.
Dang, that was like 3 years ago. Okay.
Was that the one where Ellie is
playing the guitar?
Playing the guitar? Yeah.
Oh man, that was a nice reveal. That was good.
See, subtlety
yes.
in that game. Subtlety that they put in. They know what they're doing. They found their niche with this game. They created a great world with this. Characters fully realized. I just hope that they corrected the AI, because there's parts in the game when your character would have his people along with him that would be following him, and the clickers or the people would be walking around, and your character would get up, or the other characters would get up and run in a different direction, and it's like, no, the enemy would see your character move, and they would only focus on you. So I hope that they fix the AI, which I'd imagine that they would.
The last gameplay trailer was from 2018. Does that sound right? Or did they release an updated one?
I think the most recent one that they put up was actual gameplay footage. I think it was 15 minutes.
Oh wow!
I think.
Let's see.
But whichever one you find that's from Sony, because there's other ones that people have grabbed gameplay from. So let's just go straight to the source with not Uncharted, but Naughty Dog. If they have their YouTube channel, I'm sure whatever they post would be the most recent stuff, and we can do that.
Okay, let me try official gameplay. Thanks for being patient with us, y'all.
Yes. Well, all this stuff itself may be actually edited, so they won't even see this, or they won't even hear this. But if we keep it in here, this is the kind of things that we're doing. We're testing out something that we haven't done before, and this is a small little thing that we're actually doing that's going to be expanding on. Once we get it perfected, we'll know exactly what to do, and it's going to be streamlined, a lot easier.
For sure.
All right, so what we found is the Last of Us Part 2, the release date reveal trailer, which came out 2 months ago. Now, we've talked about this, and I'm pretty sure both of us have seen it, but we've never actually seen it together. So we're going to end our podcast on this, but this is another thing we're going to be posting on the actual podcast itself through the YouTube channel, so it shows what we're actually looking at. So, all right, go ahead and hit it.
Ready, man?
Let's do it.
1, 2.
There we go.
Scale of 1 to 10. How would you rate our kiss from last night?
Seems real majestic with everybody.
All right.
The graphics look really
You
nice.
all know the drill. Run your routes. Lock your logbooks.
Oh wow.
Run into anything you can't handle.
I love those scenes. When you have your gun, you have the mask. I hope they incorporate that more in this game.
Oh, here's the clickers. Oh.
Come back.
That's so cool.
So they're pushing the PS4 to the limits with this game.
Absolutely. I like how they're blending the cinematics with the actual gameplay. They don't hide from that.
I like that.
They've made their game really polished.
Get off me! Please stop! No!
See? That's what's going to drive her, and that's difference in Ellie when she was as a kid. Now she's seeing what the world is. No matter what you do,
I have to finish it.
it's always going to be like this.
Yeah.
You have no idea what you're walking into.
What are you doing?
You don't know how large that group is.
Yeah.
How armed.
That's cool. I like the small dust particles
Here.
and the lighting.
Yeah.
This is gonna be so gritty.
I know, man.
You can't
I wonder
stop
how long
this.
she's gonna be out by herself.
Ooh, different types of clickers.
Dog. I didn't notice that. Dog.
Were those zombies?
Yeah, they came out and grabbed her from the car.
Wow. Did they have zombies in the first one? They were regular
Yeah,
people, right?
They were the runners.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Joel.
I'll let you do this on your own.
Nice.
So let me ask you this: What if they made that co-op?
Oh my god, this would be the best game.
Joel could play together.
That's what they need to do, man. Last of Us Part 2. Co-op
I know.
2. It makes sense. May 29th, yep.
Yeah. I think that's around the same time. So I think they still kept it, or maybe it got delayed a couple more months.
I think it was delayed a little bit.
Okay, that's fine.
But wow, this game looks like it's going to be so gritty. The graphics look nice. I'm sure the story's going to be amazing. But dude, yeah, if they made it co-op, one controlled Ellie, and the other one was Joel,
yeah,
that would be so fun. Like, I don't know why they don't think about it.
Well, I think it's hard to do that because a lot of the times when you have two people playing at the same time, most of the time players will try to break the game. So they'll take you out of what you're doing. I remember reading a book where they talked about that specifically when you're if you give the player the ability to mess around with the environment while you're having like an interaction with somebody, while you're having like an in-game cutscene or something like that. And if you give the character the ability to grab stuff and actually throw it while you're actually talking, the player is not going to listen to what the story is because they're going to be trying to like break the actual game. So I think that happens a lot. So it's really hard to control that where you can have the two players focus on what they're doing and not trying to get beyond the actual level itself and try to break the actual the levels itself. Yeah, like trying to break what they're doing. It needs to be focused and directed.
I think the only way they can do that is if they just turned it into a cutscene and you don't have the ability to move around and stuff. But I can understand that. Like they wanted to have a more personalized experience because it's possible that, you can have different experiences like playing co-op mode.
Right.
If they didn't do that. So I can understand why they want to focus on it being single player, but still, if they could have done co-op, then that would be sweet. But either way, it looks like this is going to be an amazing game.
But even this right here, like the relationship that Ellie has with this girl, I mean, I love the fact that she's still, you can still see a part of her that she's still very innocent. After she says that, like, how do you rate our kiss? You can see just a look on her face, like she still doesn't have that like confidence where she can still say what she really feels. The real time you actually do see who she really is when they're outside of the camp, when they're outside of the outskirts of where they are. That's where you get to see what she's really become.
Like when she unleashes and just goes berserk.
Exactly. All the stuff that's been going on since the first game ended, what kind of journeys has she gone through to get to this point? And now you kind of have a little bit of happiness where like that's what happened with Joel. Like Joel had the love of his life, of his daughter, taken away from him. And that scarred him for 20 years. He never went forward in that. That's why he was able to do the things that he did, as far as like them just being like smugglers and like gun runners, because he didn't care. Nothing about his humanity was there anymore. It was all stripped. And even the relationship with him with what's her face? I forget her name. The girl Tess. With the relationship with him and Tess, it seems like they've been together for a long time, but you never show that kind of. He never has like intimacy towards her. It's like real cut and dry. And with her, with Ellie, I wonder if they're going to be doing that because after the trailer of what they show, it looks like she's gonna see like what the reality of this world is. It's gonna take all the things away from you, and it's gonna force you down this road because that's the way that this world is. It's never gonna be safe. It's never gonna be happy.
Oh yeah, this is going to be dark and gritty. It makes me want to watch like a Disney movie after seeing that trailer.
Everything all safe. Yeah. I wonder, things like this. I wonder if you can be able to see like the shops inside. This will kind of actually create more of an actual for with the characters that are living in this, kind of like a Rockstar or Red Dead Redemption, where you go into town and you can be able to talk to these people. You can go in and you can buy stuff because why couldn't you?
That would be awesome, man. Yeah.
And it looks like look at the very top, dude. Not to interrupt, but it looks like they have electricity, dude. I didn't even notice that. Like they have poles. Look at up on the very top. You can see power grids, like a little power lines.
They must have got a generator up and running. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So they've all like fortified in this, and now that obviously having children running around, and you can see people that are still patrolling on the horse over there, but it seems like they're still kind of trying to get back what their lives used to be. So cool.
So did her friend die? Is that?
So I don't. I mean,
they don't really show it, right?
They really do allude to it because you hear her actually say no, and then you hear a gunshot, and then the next scene is her like all those showing the back. They show the back of her all bruised up, but those scenes right there where it's in the actual with all of that in the air, like all that. What is it? It's like pollen or something like that that they can't breathe. That part right there, like, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep interrupting you.
No, dude, go ahead, man.
But look at this. Look at where the Ellie's girlfriend. Look how she actually moves the gun. So it doesn't look like the gun stays in one position. I wonder if you have control to be able to shoot where you want. Like if you want to shoot them in the shoulder or in the head, it happens really quickly. Like the gun follows the head. I wonder if you can do stuff like that.
That'd be cool. Yeah, if they incorporated it into the gameplay.
Yeah. So like something happens. Obviously, they get lost with each other. Like something happens. She tries to find her. But it's obviously something, man. There's obviously something that happens.
I wonder if something happened to Ellie herself as well. That
maybe somebody found her. Maybe she was left for dead.
Yeah.
But this is why I'm so excited about this game. Just this alone, where she's walking down those steps and you see the blood getting pulled. You don't know where that blood is. Maybe that's the girl. Maybe they're whatever they're doing with her. Maybe they're eating her, whatever. But they know exactly what they're doing. They set up that scene so perfectly because you there's so much mystery with something like this. And what they did with The Last of Us, and every time you would go into rooms, you would see a little story. You would see things that have unfolded, that people left their homes, and you can see that there was somebody living there.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited, man. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, it's like before you enter a big moment or walk through a door, like you don't know what to expect, or I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah. So even her just saying that, please stop, and then the gunshot.
It's intense.
And then it's just her like showing all those bruises, man. I mean, that's like you don't know where she's at this point. Like she's lost it. All of it is just revenge. But they're going to be coming up against people that they never encountered before because now these other people, they're organized. They have vehicles. They can be able to get around. They call each other. They live on the outside, whereas people live on the inside.
I wonder if if they're showing us at different times, like different time. Oh, that's a good part to pause it at.
Yeah.
Where's this guy's clothes, man?
I don't know. Oh, am I pausing on that?
Yeah, that's where on my end there's a naked guy in the chair.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, thank you. There we go.
Okay, yeah.
That's a lot better.
So the part that was paused on my end was in the subway where it showed that flare.
Oh, okay.
That was lighting.
Well, I lost that guy made me lose my train of thought. Oh yeah, I was thinking like I wonder, like, if they're jumping in time, like if they're showing us what happened in the past, and then it's like
Hmm.
fast forward, and then she's a part of the civilization with electricity, and then now it's her
Right,
moment to get revenge, or if it's
right.
something that happens right away. Like that would be interesting to find out as well.
I think it's so. I think it's always been brewing.
That
You know,
gameplay
and
looks so
she.
nice.
I know. I love that she takes the weapons away from him.
Yeah, those runners look really creepy.
I know. And the look on her face when she sees the cars, it's like, oh, you can't. These people are. You can't mess with them.
Hmm.
Love Joel. Mm-mm-mm. Can't wait,
It's
man.
gonna be good, dude.
Yeah.
What are your final thoughts, man? We should probably be wrapping up this episode.
I would say, my final thoughts on that is just, I can't say enough how excited I am for that because they know how to pull you into this world so quickly and with these characters being so fully realized that it's just I'm curious on where they're at. I want them to I want these characters to live past this game, but you don't know. That's the
Hmm.
one thing that's so awful about this world is that it takes everything away from you. It strips all the things that you love about these characters and it strips all of that humanity away from them
Hmm.
and they're just trying to survive and you're trying to do as much as you can to get them to that point. Like it really feels like you're a part of what this narrative is. Like
Hmm.
even though it's already been laid out for you, you seem like you're uncovering all this stuff and we don't even know what happens with this. Like
Hmm.
does Ellie have the ability to actually move around in the that downtown area? Does she have more freedom with the levels? Like is it not so much of a narrow path of where you're going? It maybe you can venture out a little bit further.
Hmm.
We don't know like what kind of gameplay they've set up for us, but in the first reveal trailer where Ellie was running away and she grabbed something on the that was on the floor and she
Hmm.
grabbed like a bottle and
Yeah.
then threw it at one of the enemies while she was running. That looked interesting because they've never done anything like that. So it looks like the levels are a little bit bigger than they used to be. So they're not so like narrow. But I'm excited overall.
I hope so. Yeah, I guess my final thoughts on this is I'm excited for the gameplay. It looks like it's going to be more dynamic.
Hmm.
Graphics look really nice. I like the story. Like I like revenge stories in general, and I think this is going to be so good. Like I just can't wait to find out what happens. But I'm kind of sad at the same time because I'm not expecting a happy ending. Like
I
we're just
know.
seeing all this gruesome, gritty scenes. I'm hoping
Yeah.
she has at least one happy thing happen to her at the end of the game.
I
You know?
I hope so too, man. I hope that the girl her girlfriend is not dead. I hope that she's not, but it seems like that's the driving force. It
Mhm.
seems like you spend a little bit like they wouldn't just show you this immediately and tell you that her girlfriend's going to die. They're going to set it up where you're going to have more interaction with this girl, with Ellie and her girlfriend,
Mhm.
where they're going to make it where you're going to care about this girl, and that's the way you're actually driving towards this
Right.
because these other enemies they look really well organized.
Mhm.
They don't seem like just regular guys that are just walking around and trying to survive. They seem like they're a part of an actual group, like a bigger group than we've ever seen before.
Mhm.
So they have resources, they have weapons. So it's like I can't wait for that. I can't wait for you to get into like infiltrate the camps and like look and see what they're doing.
Mhm.
And you're just like, okay, there's this enemy I could take off, I could pick off and whatever. That I'm really interested in. I'm interested in what Ellie can do and what the story's going to be pushing. I just
Mhm. Me too.
can't say enough. Can't say enough about it.
Yeah, the enemies look like they're going to be a lot more menacing, compared to
Yeah,
the first one. Kind of like what you're saying. Like
yeah,
they're more organized. They're part of a bigger group. So I'm
yeah.
excited to see, what they're going to do. And like what you were saying earlier, I hope the AI is going to be better in this one.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
overall, I'm very excited, about this game, and I can't wait to take it for a spin when it comes out.
I know, man.
Hopefully, they
I'm
don't
so
delay it
excited.
again.
I mean, if they delay it a little, I mean, they've already done it now, so it's like if they delay it again, it won't be a problem
Hmm.
because I'm not going to be worried about it. Like it's not going to like raise red flags for me
Hmm.
because I just like I know what their finishing product's going to be,
Hmm.
so I'm just like I'm not worried about that.
No, I hear you.
Stuff
Like,
like
I would
yeah,
rather wait for a game and know that it's going to be polished rather than a developer rush out a game and and have it be crappy. And
Exactly.
I hear you, man.
They'll take their time with this, and every time that they put out a little trailer or something like that, we'll try to have a little bit more of a reaction for the two of us. But it's still coming along. We're still getting our videos. We're kind of dipping our toes into this kind of ability where we can be able to watch videos instantaneously while we're actually both talking to each other. So through the podcast. So we'll get it organized. So it's
we're getting there.
It's a process, just like everything else.
But I just wanted to thank everybody for listening to us.
Absolutely.
As usual, this was another exciting episode here on Level One Walkthrough. Any final thoughts or comments, Tony?
We're getting to episode 10, man, and it's kind of interesting for us to be doing that. Like we're already in 10 episodes. We'll be at 20. We'll be at 30. Small little things that we're doing. It's so much fun to just do stuff like this and then be able to branch out to what we're doing and be able to talk to other people. That's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't wait. I can't wait for next year. We're definitely pushing in the right direction. So very excited.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for listening. I know that we kind of rambled on a little bit. I appreciate everybody being a little bit patient with us because we're trying out a new tool, and right now it's not perfect yet, but this is why we're doing it, because we want to give more thoughts onto what we're doing, and we want to incorporate most of what we can do through our audience and have it more visually instead of more of an audio based podcast. So for everybody, thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back in episode 10.
All right, take care, you guys. Peace out.
Have a good one.
Thank you for joining us. Until next time.